Folks, I said until the lions have their own historians, the tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter. Hello and welcome to the most opinionated hour on radio and the nation's thought-provoking hour. I am Nana Ansah Kwao, the fourth chief of the Little Republic of Akwemu Edumasa, and I say thank God it's Monday. It's time of the day for our storytelling, time for reflection, a day for our favorite radio talk show, only on Joy 99.7 FM. Welcome to the ritual I call That's My Opinion. Folks, every Monday at this time, make it a day, tune in and join us. Our topic today, a nation surviving on nationalism. A nation surviving on nationalism. At this point, I'll say let us all gather and make truth good. Let your friends send messages around. Get everybody to tune in so you can continue the show after it's done. Folks, today I have a very interesting story for us to ponder on. So permit me to go back in time as we do every now and then. Now, in order for us to understand how we got here and why we must move on from here, it is urgent for the country, for policyholders. So I say, let's pay attention in order for our own progress. Folks, after the fall of the Ghana Empire, somewhere around 1203, Sundiata Keita built the Mali Empire around the then Ghana Empire. But also came to an end when the Songhai Empire rose to power. It was to be the last empire when the Moroccan army decisively defeated the Songhai army in the Battle of Tondibi on March 13th, 1591. Now they then captured the cities of Timbuktu and Gao, effectively ending the Songhai Empire. This created a major exodus for survival. Chiefdoms were created through common beliefs and languages, and they headed south to present-day Ghana. When they arrived, each group started their own states and kingdoms. The Akwemu's first permanent settlement was Trefohimai. The Ashantis then were a bit all divided and had not grouped up for war. Asante, the people, because of war, they hadn't grouped up yet. The Domas were secession state from the Akwemus and headed up to their present location. The North, it was a similar story, where powerful kings were building powerful states with a common history, shared myths, shared beliefs, the same ancestors. And based on that, they formed their states and kingdoms. But let me end it there. In 1845, without notice or preparation, a line was drawn around us. And it meant that from now on, we were now one people. Hello? One people. With no shared interest, no shared ancestors, no shared myths, beliefs, customs, traditions, language, nothing. You were just one people. And from then, folks, the mission and vision of Ghana or Gold Coast has been to achieve unity in this cocktail of traditions and states and strangers literally put together overnight. Strangers put together overnight and claim that from today onwards, you are brothers and sisters, you are one people. So much so that even the overall state, in the interest of peace and achieving peace, recognizes the states within them and gives them prominence. Folks, currently in Ghana, there is not that one person that we all stand up for. Maybe when the national anthem is playing, but other than that, there's not that one person who walks in and the nation rises in recognition of him or her. Not even the president. Now that's a very strange phenomenon that maybe going forward one day We should work on it. But I must say that in terms of respecting our differences, be it tradition or religion, we have excelled. Folks, after independence, Kwame Nkrumah, God bless his beautiful soul, built schools all over the country, and students were posted across the nation. Now, they got to learn about the different cultures, and also in school they met and made friends with people from across the nation. Now, this really broke the fear of the unknown and the mistrust of ignorance. The beginning of world-class harmony, the great Akwaba state was formed. And we have survived on this deep sense of nationalism to date. Folks, if you saw when Togbe Sri and the state of Anglo visited Menchia on Wanakosidai, and also when Otumfuo and the state of Asante went to celebrate Hobechocho with Togbe Sri, it was just touching. Adiene very beautiful. Two powerful kings from completely different traditions supporting each other shoulder to shoulder. When Yana visited Chebi with his warriors on horseback, it was a sight to behold. I don't even know how they brought the horses up. Apongo Bebri, and they stormed the new journalist language. They stormed Chebi. And it was beautiful. And they came and displayed what it is that was theirs. And the people from Chebi also received it warmly. So beautiful. And there have been many of such. But the icing on the cake for me is when the chief imam on his 100th birthday chose to go to church on his centenary. The chief imam, head of all Muslims, decided to celebrate that day in church. What? Now that, to me, was heavenly. That was world news worthy. Now that is why Ghana is among the peaceful and the safest countries in the world. These are some of the reasons why this country is at the pinnacle of safety and peace, in spite of everything. So in future, when posterity is judging us for our many sins, and we do have many, they should remember to give us credit on nationalism. They must give us credit on nationalism. So why am I talking about Ghana surviving on nationalism? Folks, even though it is an important ingredient in nation building, there is so much that nationalism can do. The reason I went back into history was to paint the picture of why we needed to bond as a newfound nation of many states, many strange states. We had to bond. We needed to trust each other. We have to accommodate, understand, live side by side in harmony with, people who were one time maybe even enemies. So much so that we overlooked the need for patriotism. Yes, patriotism. We were never deliberate and focused on the need to be patriots. But I must give credit to General Kutu Achampo. God bless his soul. He tried very hard to instill patriotism in us, but it was very short-lived for obvious reasons. So this very vital ingredient in nation building is missing. We know how to love one another, but we have no clue how to love the nation. We have no problem living amongst each other. Whether you're Muslim, whether you are Ewe, whether you're Fanti, Gaji, and Nubias. Whether you're Muslim, traditionalist, and Nubias, and we are not faced in the least. But still have no clue how to love the nation Ghana. Folks, but patriotism is also very reciprocal. It's not one-sided. The nation must protect and serve the citizen and get love and loyalty back in return. We are at a stalemate now. The citizen says, you know what, we are fed up. Give me basic amenities, justice, education, health, road, water, power, above all protection, and I will show you love. The state also says, no, you show me love first and I'll protect you. Who goes first? And that's where we are. State and citizen always at a loggerheads. Fix the nation, fix your mind. Fix the nation, fix your mind. And we are at a stalemate. Who moves first for the development of the station? Folks, without this, no matter the budget you present, no matter the policies you propose, unless you put a gun to the heads of the citizens, it's not going to happen. You need a good percentage of your citizens who can say yes to this important questions. Is this nation worth dying for? You need a great percentage of your citizens who would answer yes to this important question. Is this nation worth dying for? Otherwise, who will you build the nation with? Because you need to build the nation with people who are ready to die for it. A great percentage of our youth are just waiting for the opportunity to escape. They are only here because they haven't gotten the opportunity. What good is such a citizen to you when you want to develop and build? It's not a good sign. Folks, the nation needs patriots. And patriots are not born, folks, but deliberately trained, strategically trained. And that loyal base, any leader who takes over any nation, any institution, any office, any church, any mosque, you need that loyal base. The people where, even if you are asleep, will still work to make sure that the nation institution works for the good. The bad notes would always be there, but there should be very few dotted amongst. Those are the people who the police and the soldiers and everything are there for, the bad note. But generally, you should build a nation where they are all dying to make that nation a great success. People who always hold their head up, chin up, and are absolutely head over heels in love with their nation. That is where our problem is. We have relied on our nationalism, and I'm saying it has worked. Our traditional leaders, our religious leaders, I know the political class have been absolutely abysmal in this, recently trying to even use religion to unify religion, they failed. The political class has failed in the nationalism aspect. But generally, the average Ghanaian, the chiefs, the churches, the marketplace, the women, everywhere, we have been able and very, very accommodative with each other. Yes, one in a while, they may tease, each other, just mock each other and move on by. But that, deep sense, hatred, I want to go and kill somebody or bomb somebody, we don't have that problem. Which is very, very fine, which is brilliant. But now, how do we turn back and love the nation? That is the next agenda that should start. Because otherwise, how then do you build the nation? Unless you're going to shoot everybody, imprison everybody, how do you build the nation? So the next phase, now that we have succeeded in building and surviving on nationalism, I am proposing that the next step is that we move to make us patriots. Let's start with the children in crèche and nursery and stuff like that. Let's go heavy on them. And for us, the adults, surely, once you see your roads and your protection and you can feel, you go to hospital and tell you any no bed syndrome business, the love will come back and it will be easier and the speed, the acceleration of developing the nation will grow. At this point, I say, talk to me. 0302216541. Zero 216-541. Now, I'm sure most of you who have come across somebody who's quote unquote bugger, maybe went to Germany, maybe went to Sweden, stayed there 3-4 years. He's come back and he's living in Ghana. And just for living in that country for a short period of time, always identifies himself as, you're German, you're Americans. Why? Just because that short period of time that he was there, he was able to access education. He was able to access, like a little bit of overdraft to go. He was able to rent. He felt that his amenities and his protection was there. And for that short period, some even changed the accent. For that short period, identifies that, in America, for we the Americans. How long did you live there? 3 years. I just went to do my master's and I came back. And still identifies with it. Why? He felt that the state would protect him. He felt that he could walk into a bank and access a loan without having to go and bring your mother and your dog or whom you know or whom you didn't know. He could fill up an application and get a job without somebody saying, I know him. And just because of that, they identify. Hello, who's talking to me? Let me hear you. The name again, please.
Mamiama.
Oh, Mamiama, let me hear you.
My problem is, since our BEC students wrote their exams in August, we heard they will be going to school on 4th December. But I'm speaking to you, the placement form is not yet in.
Damiama, thank you very much. I think we'll do that on another day. I don't have any information on that yet, but thank you very much for calling. 0302216541 and Nation Surviving on Nationalism. And I'm saying we have done that for centuries. For centuries. And the world over, I am telling you that the world over, Ghana is a world leader in terms of people who will live in harmony. But going forward, we can't still rely on the back of our nationalism. We can't. We now need to add patriotism to it. We must now love the nation. We must now love the nation so that somebody, a carpenter, would say, last week, I earned 60,000, and so, how much taxes do I have to pay? And you're kind of say, I earned X amount of money last month, and so how much am I due in my taxes? That's how we have to bring ourselves up to. And it is very important. Hello, who's talking to me?
Nana, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is Samuel. I'm from the Volta region.
Samuel, let me hear you.
Nana, thanks for this topic this evening. Until we as Ghanaians see it very necessary that this country, the country I see myself in, I belong to the country and I must be a patriot, will continue to live within the very confines that we live, and we will still remain the same. Look, leadership across board is corrupt. And when you single out yourself and want to do things the way they should be done, you are seen as the bad man and they will sideline you. Nana, that is what we are battling with. Thank you.
Thank you too for listening, and thank you for calling. Hello, who's talking to me?
Nana Kwesi.
Let me hear you, brother.
Well, it's very simple. You want me to love the nation from childhood. I need to be shown how to love this nation. The people who are there before me, before I landed on this country called Ghana, they have to do things that portray how to love the nation. And then maybe, just maybe, when I grow up, I'll follow in their footsteps. So that happens, I will grow and I'll only think about myself and myself and myself. When you mentioned tax, today I had to make some transactions to someone, and I just told the person that, look, it's okay, the taxes I pay is too much. The same money, I'm being taxed on it over and over again, so I'll just go and I'll bring the person cash. It's not, if somebody would hear this and say, shouldn't pay the taxes. See, I pay enough taxes already. I'm paid the direct and indirect. It doesn't. And I'm not seeing the worth of it. So I say it's enough. The ones that I can jump, I will jump. The ones that I don't have control over, fair enough. Good evening.
Good evening to you, Nana Kwesi. Hello, who's talking to me?
Nana Nyankwada.
Midase.
Isaac James from Abokobi.
Let me hear you, my brother.
Nana, I think that we have to start teaching patriotism in our schools from the basic school through to SHS, because you can see that these two political parties have made their followers like they hold allegiance to the parties instead of the country. So anything the political party says is what they do, and it's like they are putting it on their children. So it's better we start teaching the children in school, from basic school to the SHS level, patriotism. Let us put the patriotism in our curriculum so that by the time they go through SHS, they will have so much love for the country. Because if you talk to people now, it's only few people that have love for this country. Thank you very much, Nana.
Thank you so much. 0302216541. Hello, who's talking to me?
Hello, Nana. Good evening.
Good evening.
It's George from Adenta.
George, let me hear you.
You know what? Sorry. Nana, you know what?
Yeah.
Those of us who are 50 years, or let me say 45 years above, we learn some of this from our parents when we were born. See, you would like to know that you have to live with somebody in order to survive and those things. Sometimes you go and live with your aunties while your parents are around. You see, so we learn some of it. But let me tell you, these things are taught in school. These students say the pledge. They know the pledge word by word, the national anthem. But you see, these children grow up, they have gone to school, do their masters, and they look for job. They have to pay somebody in order to get the job. And they see politicians living affluent lives. And you expect them that when they get a job, they should be patriotic. Or when they leave the shores of this country, they should come back. They are not coming back. And I come to the passport office, you cry. The old people are living, traveling.
Wow.
Oh, no. Enjoy your night.
Thank you so much for calling. 0302216541. Okay, hello, and who's talking to me?
Yeah, good evening, Nana. This is Jefford calling from Baton specifically.
Let me hear you. Let me hear you, my brother.
Yeah, thank you for your words this evening. Anytime I'm listening to your words, then my heart is thinking, because it's full of words that when you spoke about it, then I'm afraid. Just because as a country that we are living in, I don't know whether we the citizens I don't know what to say again, because it's something that all the time I'm always afraid of this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much for listening, and thank you for even calling. Hello, who's talking to me?
Nana, this is Saint OJ.
Saint, let me hear you.
Okay. So, Nana, because I'm a history teacher, I so much enjoy the program, especially when you take us way back. But I have been wondering, I think it is a thesis that I had loved to do some time back, that transitioning from having traditional rulers over us into this new monster we have acquired for ourselves called democracy. Because I think that is where everything starts. Somebody said we should teach our children patriotism, nationalism, and all that. But I disagree.
Okay.
We don't teach them. We demonstrate them. Like you mentioned, people who have been abroad and all, they can tell you what happened. It's not like somebody took them to classroom to go and teach them that Germany is this or Britain is that. But it was what they experienced. So if you have all the taxes we collect, we use all of it to pay the government of the day. Look at how much those in power they take every month. It will be quite difficult for them to think about the country. And unfortunately, they are the helm of affairs. So in Little Edumasa, when Nana, you lead the way, your people follow. But when you have a situation where the politician, for instance, the person who is in charge of education, has all his children schooling abroad or in an international school, how on earth will he make the local education better? And to date, I'm still finding that nebulous role traditional authorities are playing in our politics. I think we have a joke of something called Council of State or whatever, who will watch the government of the day do whatever he likes as long as their cars and their monies are coming. And so I think until we find that balance where the traditions you've mentioned find a space in the new political dispensation where that same patriotism that was demonstrated in the days of, if I am an Asante, I am a proud Asante, because even in these modern times, I am still proud of the fact that I am Asante. So until we find that space, I'm not sure we are going anywhere. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And that's a very important space to find for the nation. It's a very, very important space to find for the nation. And I'm saying that as a nation right now, there's not that one person who, when he walks in, the whole nation will rise as we recognize him. No. It's very weird. I don't know if there's Krobi or Hosa, but in Ghana here, there will be any who beat me up, and everybody say, Wabanti and sorry. No, the paramount chiefs will sit because they are in their kingdom. They won't get up. Hello, who's talking to me?
Yeah, Nana, good evening.
Good evening.
This is Patrick from Ablekuma.
Patrick, let me hear you.
Yeah, Nana, earlier on, a caller was saying we should start patriotism from the basic schools.
Sure.
Yeah, that might be right, but Nana, the fact is that those guys, right from the basic school, who are those who are going to teach them the patriotism? Who? My belief is that any country where system works, where the laws are forced to the latter or the letter, as Kojo made us understand this morning, if laws are forced to the letter, look at that system. Look at how the system works. But look at our system. Look at our policing system. Until the police get it right, until we stop interfering or we start mingling politics with our security systems, I'm afraid that's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be. That's the blatant fact. Until that system change, the policing system, the police we have now, we all know who they are. The policeman sees a Land Cruiser tinted, yes sir. Until that system change, I'm afraid we are in for what we are really experiencing now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for tuning in and listening. And doing the listening is Mr. Agla, Stephen Agla. Thank you very much too. to a time where we should all, maybe do another century trip to find out how we, go about it, because we need to. Otherwise, everything we're doing is just maybe lip service or doing it in vain, painting mamento, but underneath it is actually nothing. It's actually nothing. We really, really need to find out who's going to bail the cat, who's going to move first, as to if we are going to love the nation first, or if the nation is going to protect us first. But somehow, one has to give. This stalemate, where we are against each other, people attack their own rivers and destroy whole natural habitat for survival, because if the nation is not going to protect me, then this is how I'm going to survive. We can't carry on like that. It's a very dangerous and weird phenomenon where people attack their own natural habitat. Kill it. Why? Well, I finished school. I don't have any work to do. There's no work in this village. There's this, and so this is how I'm going to survive. How do we get there? And I'm saying, like, if you go into the habitat, so you go to, a particular area, particular town, and they are so welcoming that even if other tribes come there to destroy their water, they are okay with, accommodating the tribe, but they don't love the nation enough to protect the water. You get where I'm coming from? So I'm from Edumasa. I go to, somewhere in the river, Pra, somewhere far away from Edumasa to go and do galamsey. The people in the area, they know I'm not from there, but they accommodate me. They are not suspicious about me. But they don't love the nation enough to say no and conquer saying. So that I think that's where I'm trying to get our minds to. Hello, who's talking to me?
My name is Ayana.
Come again. Your name is?
Ayana.
Let me hear you.
I'm calling from West Virginia.
Sure, let me hear you.
Thank you very much for being such a national issue. But unfortunately, it's our politicians who are messing up the country. There's no populism in the hearts of Ghanaians. It's our politicians. Let me just go a little bit out. In 1992, before we went to constitutional, what NDC said, they were campaigning that if Ghanaians, the Zongo community, if they should vote for the MPP, when the MPP comes to power, they will sack them out from Ghana. When MPP came to power, they never made any attempt to scrutinize one who is a foreigner. A Ghanaian cannot go to Togo and misbehave, walk around freely without a case. A Ghanaian cannot go to Benin, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, Mali, Senegal, Gambia, Equatoria, across the world. But you see foreigners march into Ghana, do whatever they want, do business, change the currency into foreign currency, send it away. Then we are suffering, crying. So our leadership, they need to change their mindset before the patriotism would not follow. If our leadership does not change their mind, we will still be here. But the Christ of Nazareth will come down. Why should we still be at the same where we are? So it is the fault of our politicians. If you shall let me alone, or so we say military stuff, military should have taken over for 5 years and then have to go over to democracy. And make sure to scrutinize everyone to patriotism 5 years before they have to work. If not, Ghana is forgetting. Thank you very much for being such a nice national issue. May God bless you.
May God bless you too for listening and even calling. Hello, who's talking to me?
Yeah. Sure.
I was waiting for you.
So I was resisting the temptation to call, but I was having a conversation with Wifey, and then he said something and it struck me, and then I'm like, now let me say this. Look, now we have one solution. My mom owns a school in Pom. So often if I visit, and when the kids are reciting the pledge or the national anthem, I keep still because I have a military background. I was in the military for like 5 years. So every time I hear this, I stand, put my hand on the chest, and adopt the posture. That's how we say in the military. Now, every time you hear those words, if you yourself, words have meaning to you, they would have an impact on you. Now, let every Ghanaian start reciting that every day, and let us ourselves start transitioning our own. Now, when it comes to the politicians, person, for example, Ajwa representing Domi, you left the country and you were fighting for another system. I heard it was social security or something. You were fighting for your kids something. Be like, would you or mind to go and represent people with Jomo? Come and teach I resign from this work to focus on the system you want to be. This America is 2 years of Ghana. And every Ghanaian that gets up and thinks that system, you are lost. That first code, gold was on our shores. But we have put our faith, false hope into these people, namely NDC and Allen. And these people have just feel as if, just like you said, what's the baby a gold share from? Why do you want to destroy the water? Water is life. How do you do that? The name of would tomorrow, would your kids survive when there's no water? Saying, I don't know the person who was assassin. I hear now. So you see, we need to cleanse ourselves of this dirty politics these people are doing. Let us make this country better by putting the right people in place. Politician be on the bar, the wife, the baby, he doesn't believe in Ghana. Trust me, he doesn't. It is just something they use, and a Ghana person means hey, or be cover now, or yes, I know, then you admire the person. Why does the black man always like what is not his? Why do we always like something inferior? Why don't we love ourselves? Why don't we embrace ourselves? Why do you do that? So the solution is recite your national anthem every day, and when it comes time for elections, make the right decisions. Don't go choosing thieves and come and cry later when they come to rob you and they come to put taxes on the girls' period. You are taxing somebody's nature. Who did you do because of this? Now they are heading. So how are you even convincing us that when we pay more taxes, you use it for what is necessary? Nama, thank you very much.
Thank you too, and I share the passion. Hello, who's talking to me? Let me hear you.
Patriotism is not taught in way to taught with deeds. If you need to do it, and as time goes on, those coming after you will follow. Then you are teaching them. You see, you made reference to how destroying the water bodies and the people wouldn't say anything about it. I mean, I value my life. Hey, not long ago, somewhere around East Legon, there is this gutter over there. I don't know who sold the land to whoever. They were filling the gutter. And I see this, they were filling the gutter, and the people around were concerned. So, started making noise. Finally, some police officers came around. They made some calls, and more police officers came. We were there, and we saw armed men. From wherever they came from, not in uniform. They normal police. They came, exchange words, and the police people brought some people, and they came to break all the wall down. Now, as I'm talking to you right now, they've still fenced the place. So me, ordinary person like me, somebody is destroying the water bodies. How far can I say it? And how far can it go? At the end of the day, they will come and shoot me. And Nana, that's why we have people there. When we report it to you, you need to be up and doing it. Now, if these people are not even able to face these same people, how much more me? Nana, what do I have? So it doesn't start from the top for me to follow and support more. Me. I also say to myself, I think about myself, because the last thing I want is never for the then bam, I'm gone. And then what happens? Good evening.
Good evening. The great important question is this country worth dying for? Nanakwesi says, Charlie. We need to create a nation where for what it's worth, I'll die for it. And I'm saying that, we're not too that far off. We are not that far off. We have gotten a big deal. But hello, who's talking to me?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Nana, good evening.
Good evening. Who am I talking to?
Claude from Tema.
Claude, let me hear you.
Yes, Nana, I want to talk about, again, 3 issues. One is about the taxes.
Mm-hmm.
I think the GRA has to give some minimum limits for artisans, for the ordinary person, maybe 100 cedis a year, so that every artisan, every dressmaker, every barber will find it easy to contribute towards the tax.
100 a year, they say, look,
No,
a Tyler charges like what, 60 cedis or something per square meter. Now the whole year I charge 60 cedis a square meter, and that one I'll buy the tile cement, I'll buy the tile, I'll pay for the water. He just sticks you on the floor and charges 60. So you have more than that.
Nana.
Yes, sir.
There are lots who are not paying even 1+1.
I know, right?
So we start from a point.
Okay.
Maybe 100, maybe 200,
so
that we get everybody on the tax database.
It's better than nothing.
And follow up.
Yeah.
The second one is about the governance. There's a company around the state transport, Accra. I went there over 20 years ago. I bought some material there. The company still exists. They are functioning perfectly. Everything is in order. In the administration and where they collect the cash, they're either Lebanese or Syrians. I'm not too sure. Since I went there 20 years ago, that's the order. The Ghanaians sit in the front desk, they take your order. Their main work is done by the foreigners or the owners of the company. They've existed over 20 years. I believe it's gotten to a time where we need some partnership. Maybe Ministry of Finance. We get some foreign countries, Norway, Switzerland, they get somebody to speak with the finance minister. Trade, we get somebody like that, sit with them. People who are not corrupted. But let's do MPP, NDC, I'm telling you, I doubt that we'll have any progress. Thank you very much.
I thank you very much too. I told you we're going to have a very insightful conversation. Thought-provoking conversation. Needful conversation. Should set a date, get all the kingsmen and all the wise men to sit around the big round table and find out how it is we make it possible, because we have to make it possible. Otherwise, absolutely no way are we going to succeed in developing as a nation. If the developers of the nation are digging waters and chopping down the trees, if they are there overpricing contracts, taking money before you get employment, how then do you build? So all the kingsmen should be sat at a round table somewhere, thinking through how it is that we become patriots. As for nationals, we've done it. Our smart and intelligent Fosti is here, lined up to give you your news bulletin. Abeku was on the ones and twos. Overdrive is after, with nice hymns to redeem us from our past sins. But also, I'm for praises, Kakranship, the idea for nationalism. More could be praised, but could be shame for us. I am Ansah Kwao the Fourth, Chief of the Little Republic of Akwemodimasa. Till the lions have their own historians, tales of hunting would always glorify the hunter.